Peep the Trump wants you to like and subscribe, or he will build a wall around your house. When teacher asked first grade class to write letters to the nursing home. Time's almost up. Just had to explain to my toddler that the chicken animal is the same thing as the chicken food, and I thought she was going to be concerned. Instead she's chanting tweet tweet, eat the bird, while shoveling nuggets in her mouth. My soul left my body today as a student confidently declared that over 35 years olds don't use social media. They are not on the internet. When I was younger, I used to make a mess on purpose and not clean it because I thought janitors got paid based on how much they cleaned. Not to brag, but my daughter has me ranked as the 11th best dad. Number 11 dad. Today, when introducing World War I, a student raised her hand and brought up the death of a certain archduke. Nobody knew his name. So as a hint, I offered that he shares his name with the band. Gentle reader, my students asked if there had perhaps been an Archduke Metallica. The first movie my mom took me to when I was a kid was Lady and the Tramp, and when they got to the scene where the dogs ate the spaghetti, I assumed that spaghetti was dog food, and then I started bawling, thinking my mom had cruelly been feeding me dog food all these years. And to make matters worse, spaghetti was my favorite food. What was the first movie you remember seeing? I think I was 7. I was misbehaving at dinner, so my parents sent me to my room. I was dramatic as duck and cried out my window to the whole neighborhood. Then the window screen broke and I fell 2 stories. I got up and rang the doorbell to tell my parents I fell out the window. In 2019, I took my 2-year-old to a restaurant. She asked why people kept going to the doors near us. I explained that's the pretty. She proceeded to loudly ask every patron who walked by, "Are you peepin'?" I could not stop her, and on their way back she'd shout, "Did you peep?" I just found this in my 8-year-old search history. For China? Somebody ducking, help me. Kid shut in the pool in Vegas and now the pool is shut down. Thanks kid. Me, when I was like 8, I don't want meatloaf for dinner. Mom, you like salmon. I was pretty stupid. The 7-year-old nanny keeps asking if I have a bet or of age, so he can tell if I'm a boy or a girl. My 2.5-year-old goes to daycare with identical twins named Mariah and Aurelia, but she calls them Mariah and more Mariah. We are at Sky Zone, and I saw one kid say to another kid, "Isn't this funny? Watch," and punches herself in the face. Every night, my daughter would refuse to wear her night diaper with the sleeping cat unless I wake it up. A picture my mom took of young me on Christmas. Allegedly I was mad because she kept taking photos of me. Kids mispronouncing things is super adorable, but at some point we will have to tell our daughter we don't put Parmesan cheese on spaghetti. I was out with my sons and my youngest started crying because he wanted a box of tampons thinking it was candy. My middle son yelled, "Those aren't candy. They are tampons for mommy's wiener." My oldest screamed, "Mommy doesn't have a wiener, she has a vag. We're a condo." He does not know that it is a statue. He does not know how much it weighs, but only saw that he needs help. Look at the world with the heart of a child, and life will become more beautiful. One of my students brought back his report card today signed Mommy. My daughter's tablet. When I was a little kid I thought buffalo were called bettholes. We would see them in a pasture on our trips to Maryland. I looked forward to it every time we made the trip. I would lean up in my seat, press my face into the window and shout excitedly, "Mom, look at all those bettholes. There are so many bettholes. Can we feed the bettholes? I bet those bettholes stink." To this day it's still a hen cricks me up. They just asked how old I was, and when I said 14, they said, "Oh, then you can get pregnant." and a little part of me died. Nope. That's not fun. Kid, pay close attention. Places ball under blue bowl and shuffles bowls. Which bowl is the ball under? Sorry guys. I meant to write Fortnite, but autocorrect change it, and I don't now know how change I will. Make new page. When I was a kid I kept throwing away perfectly good food because I saw those commercials asking for donations for the starving children. I thought they looked like they were eating food out of the dump, so I'd take extra every meal and sneak it into the trash. Mom caught me throwing me away a whole orange one day and explained it to me. It took a lot of explaining for me to understand why the poor homeless kids weren't going to get my donations to my local city dumps. One of my chubby students called another chubby student a meatball and a cereal box, and she thought it was okay because, and I quote, "we the same size." When I was like 5 years old, whenever I saw the Windows 7 Explorer icon, I thought it was an old man with 3 eyes and a shiny mustache. On the way home from Monster Jam, Binge kept us going with his constant stream of consciousness questions. Daddy, could a monster truck crush an ice cream cone? Yeah. Binge. Daddy, could our minivan crush an ice cream cone? Yes. Excitedly. So our minivan is like a monster truck? Way to raise the cool factor of our minivan by about 10,000%. Binge. I love my whole family. My daughter not exactly inspiring confidence for her future. When I grow up I want to be normal, because I don't think that I could have a job. In 4th grade I stuck erasers all over my face, which left red welts everywhere. My mom had to send me to school with a note letting them know I didn't have measles, and I was just an idiot. My 3-year-old playing hide and seek. Real life Robin Hood. If an alien came to visit, I would kill it. By Bella. Found in a Forever 21. A note a boy in my daughter's class gave to her on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I want a piece of your cake, can I get a slice? An old news story where a kid was stuck in a cream container and had to be cut out by a blacksmith. One of my students. My mom said she's going to get me Chick-fil-A on Sunday. That mom is cruel for taunting her kid like that. LMFAO. In 1st grade I wanted to grow up to be a bird, and one day I remember my neck and arms being covered in little red bumps, and I thought the transformation was beginning and I ran to my teacher crying saying I wasn't ready to become a bird yet, and it turned out I was just allergic to yogurt, and I wasn't turning into a bird at all. How the 11-year-old stores her hairdryer. The home of my in-laws caught fire yesterday. Destroyed, took cars and thousands of dollars in tools. What did my 5-year-old say? I hope their candy is okay. Me when I was 2 doing whatever the duck this is. Why? Honestly, still better than what he did to the watermelon. And did you see his lettuce chopping yesterday? On this day, 6 years ago. Conversation in the van earlier today as we were talking about postal abbreviations. I have no idea how we got on subject. James, what's AK? Saying the letters. Andrew, Oklahoma. The rest of us bust out laughing. Nice try, kiddo. We took my nephew, 5 at the time, to the beach for a picnic. He immediately walked to the edge of the lake and just stared at it for a good half hour. We got lunch ready and told him to come eat, and this little ducker slowly turns to us and goes, "The lake wants a sacrifice." Oh, and last year, when I broke my leg, he came to visit me and stay the night, and at like 10 PM he walks in my room with a ducking chef knife and looks at me, watching TV, and goes, "Oh, you're awake. I'll come back later." He never did, but I didn't sleep that night. I played 5 Nights at Freddy's 4 and once I got jump scared by Nightmare Bonnie and I almost peed my pants. So I'm never going to play Five Nights at Freddy's because they are too scary for me. So one rate, I'm sorry for the creator who made this game, but it's too scary for me. All Five Nights at Freddy's are scary. So I hope the creator of this game just can make just less scarier games. Not trying to be rude, but it would be better for kids so they get joy instead of being terrified. Someone decided to play instant glue while I was feeding Thea and glued his hand shut in a fist. Let's hope soaking it will get it unstuck. I made this in art class when I was 10 or 11 as an attempt to be edgy. I'm genuinely surprised I did not turn out a serial killer. What do these triangles have in common? All of the triangles are triangles. The kids behind me. Knock knock. Who's there? Eyeball. Eyeball who? Eyeball picking his nose with hair. 100 times in a row. Same joke. 100 times. I just remembered about how, when I was younger, me and my friend would play Minecraft on the Xbox, and his toddler brother wanted to play. So we have him a controller with no batteries in it, and he believed it for almost 3 years and thought he was playing, but was watching us play. My 3-year-old decided to put lipstick on everywhere except for her lips. When I was 5, me and my friend Evan played a game where we had to hide a rock. One of the times, he hid the rock in my left ear and it got stuck. I started crying and had to go to the doctor to get it removed. I'm still friends with Evan now that I'm 15, but I don't trust him rocks anymore. This is my son's 6-year-old perspective on my job. Papa. I sell paper. Editor. It's a stupid paper. My partner teaches middle school and just sent me this from their classroom. This is how my day is going. My toddler takes food pieces out of my cat's bowls and carries them over to place directly in front of the cats on the floor in the other room because he is worried they can't find it. My toddler takes food pieces out my cat's bowl and eats it. Fear not. I ate cat food by the handful and turned into a productive member of society. Unfortunately, I'm the case of a child who ate cat food regularly turned unproductive adult in society. I'm a good time though. Hi there. Former cat food eater as well. Also unproductive. Definitely not a good time. The cat food's worth it though. My 13-year-old son, rather than just opening a window, 15 and read messages. B. Help. Please. Fast. Help. Now. Scared. Buzz. As. R. HP. Help. Kill. It. My own son chooses to dress like this most of the time. People born today will never know what it feels like to push a sandwich into a VCR. My best friend put a cookie in the PlayStation 1, like he was expecting it to be a secret video game, when he was a kid. I was overhearing my nephew's online class this morning. Teacher, what do your parents think about the riots? Random kid. My dad was talking to me about it today. Teacher, and what did he tell you this morning? Kid, good morning. When I grow up, translated from Chinese, become a scientist is my dream. Cause I want to build a nuclear bomb and throw it to US. Replace US and become world's #1 country. That's why I want to be a scientist. I ate a rock when I was a kid because I thought it would give me superpowers. Me and my family had just gotten back from a trip to a desert and we had found geodes and brought them back home. Well, me being the smartest kid in the world came to the conclusion that if I swallowed a piece of the geode I would get superpowers, sorta how the medicine I was taking at the time would make me feel. So I broke off a piece of geode that had quartz on it and a glass of water and swallowed the rock like a pill. I don't have superpowers. The correct answer for number 4 is sock. Spelling test. 1. Leg. 2. Wob. 3. Lock. 4. Cook. 5. Doll. Bonus words. Cock. My niece only takes 1 bite out of each cookie because they aren't the same. When I was about 8, my dad bought something for me off of Amazon, and I had the tracking number, and one day, it arrived in Montreal, and I didn't know Montreal was a real city. I thought it was just a hockey team, not based on a real city name. My kid wrote a report on Lin-Manuel Miranda and somehow managed to omit all of the stuff that made him famous. I researched Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I learned a lot from it. Lin-Manuel Miranda was both in New York City in 1980. Lin-Manuel Miranda's mom's name is Luz, and his dad's name is Louis, and his sister's name is Luz. When a hurricane struck an island, he helped raise $20 million for the island. I learned a lot of things today, and I hope you did, too. Me, age 6 on my birthday. My daughter decided to give my son a Cupid test with a drill. Now I'm dealing with a big nosebleed. When I was a small child we drove by the hospital once, and my mother said something along the lines of "you were born there," or "that's where you came from," and pointed at the hospital. Except, I thought she was pointing at the windsocks on the roof of the hospital. So for the longest time I thought babies came from windsocks and just accepted that as fact without question, because to me, that made total sense. When I was little I thought Charlotte was a pig. Charlotte's Web. Best family film of the year. I had a boy in my math class today say that when women give birth they have to be 20 inches dilated. 20 inches. We did a comparison on a yardstick. When the kid saw the 10 centimeters it's supposed to be he was shocked. Then when we showed him 10 centimeters compared to the 20 inches he was like flabbergasted. If you give a mouse a Modrasseril, then it will want a rip. By Haston. My 6-year-old cousin's pizza business now with extra urine. Pass. A first grader messaged my wife. His teacher, Brooklyn. Jason said please. Huff 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 huff. Day Bailey I want you to come to me Hal's to play outside. To play some basketball in. SpongeBob fly in the water easy listening. Brooklyn M want you to come to me Hal's to get to play I at Hal's to play outside to play in my word. And play some basketball. Bus driver saves 5-year-old student choking on coin. 10 minutes into a road trip. Me. If you get dressed quickly we can go get ice cream and fly on a dragon. 3-year-old son. Okay daddy. 30 minutes into getting dressed. My daughter's drawing of our dog, who happened to be on heat. I asked her what the red spots were. That's blood coming out of her bet. Dad. Drawing/test. Kids aren't into new foods. Me. We are having pot stickers. The girls. Whining. But I want Frozen 2 stickers. For context my son can draw, but just chose not to. Name. Jize. You choose. Directions. Color the picture that you like best and write it on the line. Then draw a picture to match. Farm. Or zoo. I like the zoo. Draw a picture to show your choice. Zoo. Facebook showed me a memory from 11 years ago. 3 adorable penguins in Antarctica. It's sad because you can see grass and there is supposed to snow and ice and it has melted because of global warming. Story time. Okay this is messed up, but one time, when I was 7 I fell asleep chewing gum. Unsurprisingly I woke up the next morning with it in my hair. I remember my mom telling my older sister to take a shower with me and help me get it out. In the shower I started freaking out seeing all the hairs going down the drain. I've always had thick hair so it really wasn't that much, but I really thought I was losing so a lot. I was uncontrollably crying and asked my sister if I had answer. Filled sugar jar with Gatorade so he could taste it. The best part of me is my brain. Without my brain I could not think. Without my brain I could not be smart. Anyone else find this scene really hot? When this alien darts at Jar Jar. The alien just looks so feminine and sexy. And the way it darts and turns to him to flaunt it. like it's inviting him to get closer for the next one. I first watched this movie when I was very young, and I have embated to this scene so many times. My friend's kid just randomly put his hand in this picture and then complained that he got wet. Dad come see my Loki, I did. Peep emoji. Adopted brother of Thor. 100% villain. I found this on their phone. 4D's nuts. If I was a leprechaun, I would hide me gold in my nut in the left corner. Tell me you have toddlers without saying you have toddlers. When I was a young boy, perhaps 4 to 6 years old, my teacher told the class to drink 8 glasses of water a day for some non-apparent reason. I thought she meant to drink a glass of water in 8 sips. I quickly stopped with that and just began to drink water in how many sips I pleased with. Years later I realized what she actually meant. Dumb me. What did mom do? Daddy, mommy, Mando, Benjamin, Lewis, Grandma Den, Loki. New warning signs in the school cafeteria. Beware of flying objects. Beware of flying objects. Okay, so when I was little I thought that when you drank apple juice a whole apple would just form inside you. I have no idea what kind of shit was going through my mind, but cleaning the fan blades in my daughter's room. My brother and sister stayed the week with me and I found this in their bathroom after they left an unopened country crock butter. An interesting fact about elephants from my 6-year-old daughter. Did you know tot elef can et penis too? I'm not arriving until 7 PM, but my friend's 4-year-old is ready. Safe drive. Wanted to go to bed fully clothed, so he'd be ready to pop over to visit you when you arrived. ETA.